I'm really excited for this section this evening. Our first speaker is doing a strategic relationships path, level 1, writing a speech with a purpose. The speech is titled Embrace Multiple Intelligences. As way by introduction, Toastmaster Gupta, or Amit, is going to challenge our traditional views on intelligence and explore how understanding multiple intelligence can enhance our strategic relationships. Embracing multiple intelligences. Amit Gupta, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you can hear you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. What does it mean to be intelligent? Have you ever heard someone say, "What an intelligent guy," or "I wish I had her intelligence"? Usually we think of intelligent people as being really, really smart, who score well on the test, get good grades in schools, and try to solve difficult problems easily. They often have good memories, very good vocabulary, and high IQ. And even if you are not one of those people, then probably you would know someone who is. Is intelligence only limited to these smart people? According to the Gardner professor at Harvard University, intelligence comes in many different forms and not only just one. Imagine intelligence as a spectrum with various shades and colors, and Gardner identified 8 distinct types of intelligence, each representing a unique way of processing the information and solving the problems. For instance, some people are wordsmiths, excelling in reading, writing, or storytelling, whereas others could be a number crunchers who love solving puzzles and analyzing difficult data sets. There are also those who have natural rhythm and can create beautiful music, while someone can move their bodies with grace and precision, like uh, athletes or dancers. On the other hand, there are visual thinkers who can see and manipulate objects in their mind, eyes, and then there are social butterflies who understand and connect with others very effortlessly. And some people have deep understanding of themselves, their emotions, and motivations, while others have a great sense of natural world around them. By understanding the diverse intelligence of those around us, we can forge strategic relationships that leverage each person's strength, leading to a mutual success. And recognizing someone's unique intelligence can help you build a stronger, more effective connection. And remember, good things come in threes: understanding, leveraging, and connecting. Personally, to me, the theory of multiple intelligence make a lot of sense. Just because you can solve a math problem or score well on tests doesn't mean you are intelligent. Maybe your intelligence come in a different form. Or maybe all individuals are intelligent. We might not have found a way to recognize and measure their intelligence. Steve Jobs was known for his incredible vision and creativity, which led to the creation of revolutionary products we all know and use as iPhone, iPad, or MacBook. However, his journey was not enough without challenges. He founded Apple, but in 1985, he was ousted from the company after a power struggle. So instead of giving up, he found a next company and bought Pixar, transforming it into a leading animation studio. His spatial and interpersonal intelligence played a very crucial role in his success. And in 1997, I think, in Jobs returned to Apple and revived the company, proving that intelligence can manifest in different forms and lead to extraordinary achievements. Another story I would like to share is of Walt Disney, who faced numerous setbacks before achieving a success. He was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination, and his first animation company went bankrupt. Despite these failures, he created a vision and perseverance led to the creation of iconic character we all know today as and the founding of Disneyland. In his case also, his spatial and interpersonal intelligence were key to the ability of for creating engaging stories and build a global entertainment empire. In the workplace, recognizing colleagues' interpersonal intelligence can help everyone in team building, while appreciating someone's logical and mathematical intelligence can enhance problem solving collaborations. Understanding multiple intelligence has big implication for education and for work. In school, it encourages teaching that caters to different learning styles, whereas in work, it fosters appreciation for diverse talents, leading to better teamwork and innovation. Let's celebrate the diverse talents around us, whether it's a colleague who solves complex problems or a friend who lifts our spirits with just a simple song, or a family member or a friend who can create a beautiful art. And each of this intelligence add richness to our lives. And remember, good things comes in a three: recognizing, appreciating, and celebrating. So, to summarize, the theory of multiple intelligence reminds us that intelligence is multifaceted. By embracing our unique strengths and recognizing the diverse intelligence of those around us, we can build a strong and strategic relationships that can lead to mutual success. So let's use this understanding to forge connections that propel us forward, all of us together. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Amit. Excellent speech. Now I'd like to introduce our second speaker. It is Toastmasters Shweta Kadupu. I hope I get that right. He will be doing a speech, a custom speech, which again will be 5 to 7 minutes. The title of this speech is The Best of You. And this is a speech about her experience of separating from family due to visa cancellation during a trip to India, and how that experience transformed me. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech for a district contest on Saturday, May 3rd. The best of you, Shweta Kadupu.
Your US visa has been temporarily cancelled. The words that turned my life upside down. Want to share? Friends, it's 2022. The pandemic has just ended. The international borders are now open, and our family is ready for a trip to India after 18 months of living like hermits. You see, it's the first international trip for my 7-year-old son, Arinil, and my 1-year-old daughter, Adya, for whom a trip has only meant moving from couch to kitchen for a snack. When we land, the family gives us a grand celebration with fireworks so loud we felt we landed on the moon. One evening, my husband Galab and I find this perfect opportunity to sneak out to our favorite restaurant from our time in college. Butter chicken, naan, nostalgia. It's like we're back in college. Except this time, we're sneaking away from our kids, not from our parents. And then Galap's phone goes, ding! And he's just looking at his phone. You see, 1,000 things go on in a wife's mind when a husband is looking at his phone. Being an innocent Indian wife, I snatch his phone. Galab, it's from the embassy. It says your US visa has been cancelled. You cannot go back to the US? For how long? Don't worry, we'll figure this out. Now, here's something to know about Galab. This guy could be tied to the train tracks with a train coming towards him, and he would say, don't worry, we'll figure this out. The next morning, we start calling the best lawyers in the country, and each one of them asks us to wait patiently. Wait patiently? I have my flight to the US in 2 weeks. My son Arnil starts his school in 2 weeks. I have a leadership assignment that can make or break my career that starts in 2 weeks. It felt like every door has been closed on us with a bang. In that moment, Galab holds my hand and he says, look, what I'm going to ask you now is going to be tough. But trust me, it's going to be the best for our family right now. I suggest you go back to the US with our son, and I'll stay back with our little daughter. I promise you she'll get the best care here. She'll be surrounded by the people who love her. Me? Going without you? Going without a little baby? I'm nursing that baby. She's attached to me. I know. But I also know you can do this. We can do this for our family. And so we make the hardest decision of our lives. My daughter would be staying with my husband in India. Saying goodbye to them at the airport was torture, not knowing when they'll be coming back home to me. Could you imagine how that felt? I arrived back home to the US and I'm filled with unending emptiness. My body gives me a constant reminder of my baby. What have I done? How am I going to take care of my son? How am I going to take care of my work? I want my baby. I want my baby. And then a text from Galab. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. It's easy for him to say, but then he hits me with something that I'll never forget. Don't let life get the best of you, or it'll take the rest of you. Don't let life get the best of you, or it'll take the rest of you. Let life test you, stretch you, break you, and remake you. Let it impress you. But don't let life get the best of you, or it'll take the rest of you. Over the next 3 months, I went from sobbing in the kitchen to becoming the meal prepping machine. From barely being able to get out of bed to standing tall at work, and even taller for the growing emotional needs of my son. It's his birthday next month, and he says, Mama, I don't want to cut my cake without Dad and Adya. I promise him they're going to be there, and we start counting the days to his birthday. On day 15, as I'm walking him to school, I get the text from Galab. My visa has been approved. Dad's coming home. My heart beat like a drum with joy and what's to come. Galab and Adya are flying back home. I arrive at the airport. Where are they? Where are they? And there I see her. That's my baby. Oh, that's my baby. She's walking. She's walking towards me. I scoop her in my arms and I don't want to let go. Arinil says, group hug. And we all are together again with a bond that nothing in the world can break. You should have seen the smile on Arinil's face when he cut his birthday cake and the relief on my face when he said, Mama, you were right. Oh, and my leadership assignment, I aced it. My friends, I was successful. My family was back together again, and Galab was right. Look, that's my story. What's your story? What are those cancellations that turned your life upside down? Those life-changing situations that made you want to quit, that made you want to lose hope, that made you want to stop in your tracks. Life's tough. But my friend, you are tougher than you think. If Galab was here, he would tell you, don't let life get the best of you. Contest share.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta. Wow. Our next speech, see, you get to go, good transition, right to the next speech. Our next speaker is Krystal Long, Bctm. She'll be doing a custom speech, 8 to 10 minutes. The title of her speech is Stepping into Courage, How NLP Helped Me Cross Daly's Shaky Bridge. Krystal is a dedicated training facilitator and coach passionate about helping others overcome their inner barriers through emotional intelligence and NLP. That is neuro-linguistic programming. Today, she will share a deeply personal story that spans over 30 years of fear and how she finally crossed not only a physical bridge in Cork, but also a powerful metaphorical one. Please join me in welcoming Krystal, Toastmaster Krystal, as she presents her speech titled Stepping into Courage, Crossing Daly's Shaky Bridge with NLP. Take it away, Krystal.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. For over 30 years, I lived in fear of a bridge. Not a metaphorical one, but a real one. This one. In Cork, this bridge is a suspension bridge, known locally as Daly's Bridge. But to us locals, it's the Shaky Bridge. It's quaint and historic and absolutely terrifying when you're a child with a vivid imagination and a sensitive nervous system. I was quite young when I first saw this bridge. I remember standing at the edge, watching it sway back and forth as someone crossed over it. the metal cables creaking ever so slightly, and my heart thudding like a drum in my chest. From that moment, the bridge became off limits in my mind. Every time I passed it, I would feel the anxiety rise in my chest. My chest would tighten, a quick breath, and a strong urge to turn away. And so I did for 30 years. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about the bridge. It became a symbolic of every uncertain, wobbly, and unfamiliar thing in my life. That fear followed me into other spaces, into decisions I hesitated to make, and opportunities, well, I let slip by, and moments where I doubted my own stability. That's when neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, entered my life. I started learning how the mind processes fear, how we store experiences and not just memories, but as internal movies filled with color, sound, and even feelings. I discovered submodalities, these subtle ingredients of how we picture things in our minds. And I realized something profound. It wasn't the bridge that frightened me anymore. It was how my brain represented it. In my internal movie, the bridge was enormous, looming, dark, and unstable. I heard wind howling, the planks twisting and turning. The emotion was heavy and sticky, like walking through mud. And so I got to work. I shrank that mental image down in my mind, made it lighter, brighter, and even changed the sound. I could hear people laughing as they crossed the bridge. And I could hear people excitement, enthusiasm for the day ahead. I turned the threatening into the playful, the intimidating into the manageable. I shifted the submodalities, and I also shifted the emotion with it. Then I took one step further and used another NLP tool called future pacing. I created a clear internal image of myself having crossed that bridge, strong posture, steady breath, and calm mind. I felt the satisfaction. I heard the quiet rhythm of my footsteps and saw myself reaching the other side, well, with a smile. I anchored that image into my timeline so that it wasn't just a wish, but a lived experience in my future. And then came the real test. One cool, overcast evening earlier this month of April, I returned to Daly's Bridge. I could feel the fear rise and whispering, "You don't have to do this." But I had a new script now. I grounded myself, took a deep breath, and recalled the submodality shifts and stepped into my future pace as I had rehearsed. The bridge, it still shook. My heart, it still fluttered. But something else had changed. I wasn't stuck in the fear. I was moving through it. Step by step, I crossed, with the breeze brushing past me and the planks beneath my feet responding like a dance partner. And not a threat anymore. And when I reached the other side, I cried. Not because I was scared, but because I finally reclaimed a piece of myself that had been frozen since childhood. 30 years of fear unraveled in just 3 minutes of courage, thanks to the inner work NLP empowered me to do. So I ask you, what's your shaky bridge? What have you been avoiding for years because of how it makes you feel inside? And more importantly, what if you could change that feeling, change the picture, or even the soundtrack, and take that next step? Because you can. You have the power to rewire fear into freedom. All it takes is the courage to look inward and a willingness to cross that bridge, no matter how shaky it may seem. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Krystal. So that concludes our first part. We'll move to our next section of the meeting, and I will introduce Toastmaster Andrew Robbins, who will lead us in our table topic session. Andrew?
Thank you, Bart. To fit with the theme for tonight's meeting, the table topics will be about groups of 3. Maybe some of you will recognize these groups of 3, or maybe you won't. The first group of 3 I'm going to remind you of are the 3 Musketeers. How many of you remember the 3 Musketeers? Not many. You don't have to remember it anyway. The 3 Musketeers were known for their motto, all for one and one for all. This motto emphasizes the collective strength when individuals support each other towards a common goal. My question is, how would you apply this motto to our club or to some other pursuit in your life? And I will ask Hamid. What do you think, Hamid? All for one, one for all? Uh-oh, there he is.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andrew. Three Musketeers, all for one, one for all. Famous novel, Alexander Dumas, right? Yeah, I watched that movie and also read that novel long back. I remember a particular instance. I had 3 of my colleagues back in India while I was working there. So these 3 people always seem together. So they go for tea, they go for lunch, they come together at 8 a.m. to the office. And if one is done with their job by about 4:30 or 4, they'll just stick on for other 2 to come, maybe even if it is 6:30. So my manager called one of them and asked them, okay, where are the other 2 Musketeers? So that is when we started using this particular term very frequently in our office. So I have seen many people like this. They stick on, they are always there. And it's very important to have a few shoulders, at least one shoulder to lay on and to provide to someone else. And that kind of bonding is always important in our life. At least I teach my kids to be their own buddies among themselves, within as siblings as much as they can. So I think it's a very important aspect of life. Thank you. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hamid. I'm impressed that you not only have read the book, but you remember the author as well. That's pretty good. I don't know how many people could pull that one out. We're now going to go from the very noble aspirations of the Three Musketeers all the way to the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges were an American vaudeville and comedy team from 1922 until 1970. So I'd like you to tell us about a funny movie or a funny TV show or any other story that you've enjoyed. Just tell us about something that you found to be funny. And I will ask Praveen, do you want to tell us about a funny movie, TV show, or story? You there, Praveen?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Great.
Yep. You want to repeat it?
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to ask if you just tell us about a funny movie you've seen, or maybe a TV show that you enjoyed, or just a funny story that you've heard recently.
Yes. I'm just thinking about the last funniest movie that I saw. Not able to recall anything.
Have you ever seen The Three Stooges?
No.
Well,
No.
before your time, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just think of anything funny, I guess, any TV show. It doesn't have to be funny, just any TV show or movie that you've enjoyed. Just tell us about it.
I mean, not a movie, but funny speeches these days, right? Like political speeches. We have many politicians, if you watch their speech, like it's funny. I like watching Donald Trump. He's the funniest guy, I love watching his speeches. So you talk about any topic, he'll have something funny to say about it. Whether it is like any geopolitical thing, or tariff related thing, or anything, right? You just listen to him, and you'll find some jokes in his speech. So I love watching Donald Trump.
All right, sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
I've heard some comedians actually prefer one politician or another to win the election just because they have more fun with this particular politician.
Yep.
It lends themselves to more jokes. I don't know how it fits into that one. And now we've stooped as low as the Three Stooges. We'll try to redeem ourselves a little bit and talk about the Three Tenors. The Three Tenors were an operatic singing trio from 1990 to 2003. They were famous for their meticulous vocal delivery. So my question is, do you like to listen to opera? Why or why not? And you can also describe which types of music you prefer. I'll ask that one to Aditya. You want to tell us what your favorite types of music are?
Oh, I like Bob Marley. I like him because his songs are charming, or it's upbeat. It's more rocky and upbeat, both kind, like upbeat and rock, both kinds of music I like, and plus country. John Denver, anybody on that topic? John Denver, Bob Marley. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'm trying to remember his big hit. I know he did "No Woman, No Cry," but there was another one for Bob Marley that was a bigger hit. Can you remind me of that, or maybe you don't remember what his big hit was?
Oh.
Maybe not. Anyone remember his big hit? Yeah, no big reggae fans here. Okay, well that's all right. I'll look it up later. Otherwise, it's going to be bothering me all night long if I can't remember it. All right, well, in keeping with our theme for the meeting and our busy agenda with 3 speeches, we'll limit ourselves to 3 table topics tonight. But if you want to practice 3 more topics on your own, you could think about the 3 blind mice, the 3 little pigs, or Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So keep that in mind if you want a little homework assignment. In the meantime, I will turn it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Bart Davey.
Thank you, Table Topics Master Andrew. What a great lightning round of table topics. And I was just looking at the clock, unfortunately, and looking at our agenda, and I think we just made up our time. So as long as I don't talk too much, I will hand it over to our general evaluator, Cole Cash. And he will introduce his team and we'll get our three speeches and three table topics evaluated. Cole?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. We will begin with our speech evaluators. Start off evaluating Amit will be Mei Wing. Please welcome Mei.
Good evening, Toastmasters and our honored guests. Tonight, Amit gave us a wonderful speech. His speech is well organized. First, he introduced what is intelligent. All of us sometimes admired some people have a special talent, but he explained everyone have intelligence in some ways. And he also followed two examples, one from the Apple company, one from Disneyland. The speech also have a good conclusion. So put all of us together with those intelligence. Overall, it's a very good speech. It's very clear. So our audience can totally understand you, can follow you from the beginning to the end. And your vocal variety is also very good. So you express your speech not fast, not very slow, in a proper volume. That all those things are very good features. And you also use our meeting themes. All things come in three. So it's when you present your speech, I also think about my work. Right now I'm doing a project with my colleague. He is very smart. He uses his smart, intelligent, and I use my my analyze ability. So we work together very well. So your speech let us think about ourselves, our work, our family, and our friends. But I still have a suggestion. Your camera might be a little lower. So when you did the presentation, I always way I saw your hands. So this caused me distraction. So I couldn't look up to you because that made me couldn't concentrate. So my suggestion is next time, so put your hand down. So if you want to only when you want to focus on some sentence, then put your hand up. Thank you. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Mei. That's very observant. Next, to evaluate Shweta speech will be Andrew Robbins. Please welcome Andrew.
Thank you, Colt, and thank you, Shweta. As some of you may have heard, Shweta is going to be competing in a district level contest for this speech. That means she's already won at the club level and the area level and the division level. She's won 3 times. And as you know, you keep working your way up the ladder, the competition gets harder and harder. I'm not at all surprised that she's done that well because I can see she's a very proficient speaker. She had excellent body language and vocal variety throughout her speech. She had a nice opening where she grabbed our attention. But the thing that really surprised me the most is something I'm going to show you here. And it's just so remarkable. I'm almost wondering if you've seen this before. I can't see Shweta. Have you seen this before, Shweta? I can't see.
I have not.
Okay. Yes. I went to a workshop last fall by Lindy McLean. And she has competed all the way into, she was a finalist in the World Championships before. And this is her theory that a contest-winning speech follows an emotional profile. So you kind of start at neutral and you grab the audience attention, which you did. Then you have an up story where the emotions improve and things get better. And you did that as well. When you got to the end, you're having this happy time, things are getting better all the time. And then there's a down story, a crisis, which emerged when you found out about this visa cancellation. When things are getting bad, that's when a guru appears and introduces a bit of wisdom, which you did as well with your bit of wisdom. Don't let life get the best of you, or it will take the rest of you. And you not only mentioned it there, you repeated it for emphasis. Like I said, it's almost like you had seen this thing before. So maybe you're just a natural at it. After that, the character is supposed to go on a journey where they learn from this lesson and they become a better person, or they prevail, or they achieve something great. And at that point, the speech should turn to the audience, which you did as well. And you asked us, what cancellations are we facing in our lives and how can we benefit them? And then finally, at the end, you bring it back to the message again, just to remind people, which you did as well. Like I said, I mean, you nailed this thing. So I'm just amazed that you haven't seen this before, because you did all of this. The one thing I think you might be able to work on a little bit is the journey. My impression, maybe I missed it, but my impression is at the end of the journey, you kind of ended up back where you had started from. Whereas it'd be more powerful if you could somehow show that you were a better person, or you'd learned a lesson, or you're more effective somehow or other. And you become what hadn't killed you had made you stronger. Maybe you did that, I just missed that, but that would be one suggestion with that. But all in all, it's an amazing story, and amazing that you matched this so well. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that you'll do pretty well in the contest. Thanks again for the speech, and I hope you will. Back to you, Colt.
Thank you, Andrew. Very well done. Next to evaluate Krystal's speech will be Stephanie Smith. Please welcome Stephanie.
Krystal, your speech was powerful and inspiring as far as a journey into your heart and heart of fear and the courage that it takes to overcome it. I think from the beginning, your opening was, for over 30 years, I lived in fear of a bridge. That immediately set the tone and set the stage for what would be a personal message and hopefully relatable message, because we all have our own fears. The image in the background, the image of the bridge that you had on your Zoom background, was very creative, and it was an effective visual that helped us to connect with your story as well. You painted vivid pictures with your words. You described the bridge being shaky, quaint, and historic. You also enhanced that imagery beautifully by using gestures, especially when you mimicked the swaying motion, your body trembled. You talked about the thudding of your heart. All that helped us to connect with your story. You used, I guess, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to help you kind of face and conquer the fear. And I think that really added a meaningful layer of insight. It wasn't just a personal story now. Now it became a lesson in transformation. And I think that was very powerful. You delivered that message. You were very calm, you were very clear, and you were poised. You looked like you were completely at ease, which made it easy for us to receive the message. I think one of the most powerful moments came when you turned the question to us. What's your shaky bridge? You invited some self-reflection in a gentle but empowering way as well. And then your closing line, take that next step because you can. That was the perfect call to action. And it also followed up by, that uplifting reminder that we can rewire ourselves for freedom from fear. I think if I were to offer one suggestion of growth, it might be just to pause a little longer at some moments, just allow your words to settle with us, especially after powerful phrases like the one, "You have the power to rewire freedom from fear." We need maybe just a moment or two to take that all in and really absorb it. Overall, Krystal, this was a very courageous, very heartfelt, and an empowering speech. So thank you for stepping into your courage and encouraging us to do the same. Madam, Sir, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Stephanie. Now we'll move on to some other reports. Start with awe counter, Sean. Let us know how we did today.
The three that did the speeches did very well. There were I think one in the very first speech, and I'm going to butcher names, so it was Amit, I think is how you say that. And here I go. But we had one on there. The worst section actually was in the table topics. There were several ums and uhs. I think Hamid has a tendency to say so a lot. He actually said so more than he said There were 6 instances where when he continued his thought, there was a so. And he had 3 uhs. Praveen, there were 4. Adita had 4 ums and ah. And then the evaluations all went well too. There was me had 1 and otherwise they all sounded great. Oh,
Thank you, Sean.
thank you.
Next, I'll call on Andre to see how we did with the word of the day.
Oh, Andre. Okay.
Regarding the word meticulous, the explanation. Could you please repeat
just
this?
let us know who said the word of the day. And how many
Yes.
times.
Meticulous means showing great attention to detail, being very careful and precise.
And did you record who said it?
I guess we could have been more meticulous about explaining the role to him. He still do it. So.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So if you would just let us know who said the word and how many times.
It sounds like he didn't record it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, thank you, Andre. And now let's go do a quick evaluation of my own. After I opened the meeting, I liked that Bart went over the theme, why he chose it, make it a fun opening to set up the rest of the meeting.
Oh, excuse me, point of order real quick. Could we get a timer report before you do your evaluation? I think it just got posted.
Okay. I'll call on Yogita for our timers report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Court. Yeah, so the timers report I've just pasted in the chat. For prepared speeches, Amit was 7 minute 50, Shweta 7:33, Krystal 7:46, table topic Hamid 1:30, Praveen 1:17, Aditya 42. Evaluators May 3 minutes, Andrew 2:53, Stephanie 2:58. Yeah, that concludes my report and back to you.
Thank you, Yogita. I now move on with my evaluation. And I liked how Bart opened the meeting. And yeah, he did a nice job of bridging and keeping the flow going quite well. Andre, the word, very good selection. One suggestion would be to put the definition in the chat. We just can refer to it if we forget what it means. And with the report, I know Andre is new here, and he'll get it over time, but it's good to mark down who used it. That is part of the role. With a thank you for jumping in, though. Primer Yogita did a nice job of displaying the background colors. Those are the easiest to see, and it showed throughout the meeting that she was on time with everyone and showing the colors at the appropriate times. Our 3 evaluators all did very well. They were all very positive, with the sandwich effect, meaning opening, closing, with positives on the speech, and in between giving a point for improvement or 2, all while doing it in a way that was encouraging and helpful to the speakers and to all of us too. I like that Andrew displayed this chart. It was shown at a previous meeting, and it's something that I rarely see, so it was a unique idea for him to add that in. Finally, with calendar, Sean, she listened intently and broke down how she was listening by various roles, evaluations, table topics, speeches, for example. And don't see that too much, as it's usually done in general. So very well done to everyone for this very productive meeting. Turn the meeting back to our Toastmaster Bart.
You're muted, but
Bart.
Oh, sorry, on mute. We have about 1 minute, but I'd like to ask any of our dignitaries, Mary Lou, or anyone who has a guest, if they'd like to comment on the meeting tonight. I think our evaluator did a great job. So I want to thank everyone, all the speakers and the evaluators tonight. As we've seen, good things do come in 3s, whether it's 3 parts of a speech, the 3 key points in a story, the 3 evaluators providing feedback. The number 3 helps us create a balance and harmony. Let's carry this theme forward in our lives and continue to find the good things that come in 3s. Have a great evening, everyone. And with that, I'll close the meeting.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Bart. Thank you for being our wonderful, meticulous Toastmaster for the evening. Thank you for doing us, and we started and ended in time. Thank you.
I guess if maybe one other thing we didn't do is we didn't get a chance for the next meeting to make sure that folks either sign up for the roles for the next, and also wish anybody that is going to the district conference up in Charlotte. I actually live in Lancaster, so I actually will be at the conference in Charlotte. But there's also the District 117 conference in mid-May, and I encourage you to participate in that as well. And with that,
good luck to you, Shweta. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
To the next level. Wonderful. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak today. And Andrew, thank you so much for your feedback. I took a screenshot of that. I didn't know that, but I'm glad that it aligns with my speech. Yeah.
And Amit and Krystal, thank you for your speeches as well.
Yes, thank you, Krystal, and welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I'm glad you get. Go ahead.
Can I ask if I'd be able to get a recording of my speech by any chance? I can. Okay, thank you.
I'm glad you were able to get rid of your fear, Krystal. I can relate so very well with your fear.